Hi guys, so this is going to be a video basically explaining the Hollister interview process and if you apply for a job there, how it works and how to apply for a job if you haven't already. So I'm going to run step by step from if you haven't to what actually happens when you do, and basically from there. So you can apply for a job by going into the store and you can say, hi, I'd like to apply for a job here. You know, what kind of thing, process it, and what they'll do is they give you a little card which basically is a web address with a password on it, and you go into the internet then and you fill in a form and you basically you offer yourself to have an interview. They're normally at 4 o'clock on Tuesdays and Fridays, and then you choose which one you'd like after filling in the form, and then you will go to that interview. And there's another way to do that as well. If you're spotted in store, so say you're going around shopping in there, or you're out in the street, because what they do sometimes is they have people walking around looking for, they have this synonymous thing of good-looking people, they'll do that, and they'll come up to you and ask, hey, do you want a part-time job at Hollister, here's a web address, blah blah blah. So two different ways: spotted, or it doesn't really matter, doesn't stop your chances of getting in if you've been spotted or not, doesn't matter whatsoever. So after you've done that, you'll go in for your interview. Now this is the main meat of the video and really what everyone gets worried about whenever they go to apply for a job. So first of all, I'm just going to tell you what I personally wore, not what to wear, because I don't know if it worked, just what personally I wore. So what they recommended, I kind of guessed at this point, was to dress in something that either Hollister actually sells, or that looks similar to the kind of thing that you would wear if you got a job there. So I personally wore, I've got it right here for you, I wore this plaid thing, wore that, which is just a simple plaid shirt, very similar to the kind of thing that they actually sell there. And then underneath it I wore an actual Hollister, really old one that I just found. Just wore that underneath it. For the trousers, I just wore some jeans. I'm not going to show you them because it's just jeans. They were kind of skinny, kind of not. This is jeans, guys. So you basically wear just some jeans. And for shoes, this is something that when you're actually an employee there, you're expected to wear the flip-flops. But you can also wear Vans. You can also wear, I think in America they call them Chuckies because they're Chuck Taylor, I don't know. But you can also, Converse shoes, wear those, and also you can wear the flip-flops in the interview. I personally wore these Converses, a bit flat, just wore those to the interview, because just so you'll show what you'll actually be kind of wearing if you get a job there. Yeah, and so that's what I wore. There's a lot of people worried about that. Just wear something. If you have a Hollister plaid shirt, wear that. If you have a t-shirt, I wouldn't really recommend wearing just a t-shirt because it kind of looks unprofessional. I'd say wear, maybe, like I did, wear it underneath. You want to try and look the part. If you haven't got a Hollister plaid t-shirt, wear something that looks similar to that. Okay, so basically how does the interview work? I came in, you're supposed to come in at 4, I came in early. I came in, it's better to do that because it shows that I'm punctual, or whatever you want to call it. So I arrived, I think, quarter of an hour before 4 o'clock, which is when it actually starts. And I go to the front desk and I ask, hey, I'm here for the interview, what do I do? And they said, would you like to sit over there, please, we'll be with you in a second. I said, okay. So I sat down, and eventually after about 5 minutes, I was the first to arrive, eventually after about 5 minutes more and more people started coming into the room and sitting with me. They have a seating area that you can sit in. And I kind of assumed they were part of the interview, so I asked, I said, hey, you here for the interview as well? And they said, yeah. So basically what I recommend doing is just talk to them, because what I noticed was happening is as I was speaking to the people there, there were people obviously from the store or the manager, I guess, who were looking over and obviously seeing me and everyone else socialising with each other is kind of thinking, okay, this person, is open, is friendly, sociable, whatever you want to call it, bubbly. So yeah, I really recommend doing that because it makes the interview process less awkward because you kind of know the people, not entirely, but you're more comfortable. So I talked to these two girls and this one guy who were there. Eventually more and more people came, who I'd actually know were part of the interview, but turns out where they were in the end. And eventually, when it came to 4 o'clock, the manager, she was a woman, she came to us and she said, "Hi guys, hands up, who's here for the actual interview?" All put our hands up, and then she said, "Okay, you'd like to follow me." So they took us. What happened to you probably if you go for the interview there? They take you to either a food court if you're in a big store, or for us they took us upstairs to this kind of second floor, which I didn't know existed. Took us there, and basically we just sat in the corridor on the floor in a semicircle. So there were about 10 people there. That's just kind of proving how casual it really ends up being. So it was really casual, guys. Really nothing to worry about at all. So we sat down and she gave us some forms to fill in. So basically the forms are your name, your email address, your number, what position you want to apply to do. So there's impact, model and overnight. And there's also an option to do manager in training, which you can't actually choose to do. So I chose the model position, and which is basically being on the floor, on the show floor, going around and saying the whole catchphrase, "Hi guys, what's up? Welcome to Hollister," blah blah blah, that kind of thing. You're familiar with them. That's just a basic retail job. Is basically what that job is. And then you fill those in, and she'll talk to you for about most of the interview. Really, she'll talk to you about what the positions are. They do a name thing where they'll be like, say your name and an interesting fact about you. So I was like, "Hi, I'm Jamie. I speak fluent Welsh, whatever." So that kind of thing, just to introduce yourself and kind of warm you up. And guys, they asked me 3 questions, just 3. Honestly, it's that simple, and they were the easiest questions. They're really not difficult. The point of the interview isn't really to show how professional you are. It's really just to get to know you a bit. That's the point. So the questions for me were, the first one was, describe how friends and family would describe you in 3 words. And then they go around, so from the girl to the left of me, around the semicircle, and then they went back the other way for the next question, which the next question was, describe the Hollister or Abercrombie & Fitch look in 3 words, or the style, or something similar to that, in 3 words. And then the third question was, name a time when you did something that was you were proud of, that you did on your own, you succeeded to do, that kind of thing. And that was it. I know other questions they might ask you. One that is the classic that you should prepare for, which I was kind of ready to do, didn't ask, I was a bit confused about that, was the question is, define diversity, and to what extent do you think diversity is important to a workplace? So that's basically because they got sued a few years ago for some people claimed they were racist because they were only hiring like white people, and they weren't hiring a different kind of ethnic workforce, which is kind of bad. So that's the question they always tend to ask. Didn't ask us that. I don't know why. Maybe this is just personally for me that the interview was so easy, but for me it was just it was honestly, and everyone's laughing, and it's more like a conversation more than an interview really. So definitely my main advice is, number 1, to be yourself, and actually when they ask you the questions about like what you're like, be honest. Don't make stuff up, because you're just setting yourself up to have a bad time then. If you say stuff that actually is not true, that's obviously a bad thing to do. And the second thing is just not to worry, because I was kind of really worried about what was going to happen for me in this. It turned out to be so easy, so much easier than I expected it to be. And what you'll find is that when you're there, everyone else is kind of nervous as you are, or maybe just not as prepared as you are. So you kind of warm up, and you're like, okay, this is easy as hell. This is not difficult in any way. So those my things. I'll give you some other example questions that they might ask you, because really, like for me, obviously, I didn't really get a good experience. But other question they might ask you is, what kind of style? Instead of saying 3 words, they'll say describe the style. They might say, why do you want to work at Hollister? what would you know bring to the team, that kind of thing. What made you want to work at Hollister? You know, they're very, very simple things that you don't really need to rehearse, guys. But that's basically my experience of it, okay? And what they say then is after the interview they explain some more about how it works, how they're quite a young workforce. That's what happened to me. And then they said, okay, we'll call you within 2 weeks, 1 to 2 weeks. And if you don't get a call, then don't expect to get the job. And then on the way out, they make you take a photo of yourself, which is horrible for me because I'm really unphotogenic. So I was not really looking forward to that, but you know that's basically how it went. And that's it. That's literally all that happened to me from my experience. So really listen to my tips there. Just be yourself and don't panic at all about it, because I was panicking. It's the easiest interview I've ever been to in my life. Not trying to say that it was bad a thing, because I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to get to know you, not trying to make you feel awkward or whatever it might be. And yeah, so that's basically what it's like. So yeah, so thanks for watching, guys, and peace.